There are a lot of secret weapons and armor in Skyrim, but in this video, I will be showing you some of the best hidden weapons and armor that you can find at level 1 to help you get started. But first, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos just like this one for games like Skyrim, Fallout, and Avowed, consider subscribing to this channel. Now first up on the list is a set of armor that you can find right in the tutorial of the game. When you reach this area in the escape part of the tutorial, you will see these 3 cages. And in this bag on the table you will find a couple of lockpicks which you can use to break into the cage in the middle. And here you will find a body, and on it will be the Novice hood and robes. This is a great armor set for early game magic users, as the hood will increase your magicka by 30 points, and the robes will make magicka regenerate 50% faster. Now personally, I didn't know this was here until recently, as usually I just speed through the start of the game, but this is a useful set of gear if you're planning on using spells early on, and it's free. Next up on the list are 3 very powerful weapons that you really don't want to miss. These will be the bound weapons, which will be the bound sword, the bound battle axe, and the bound bow. Now the bound sword and the bound battle axe are very easy to get. All you will need to do is go to Whiterun, then go to Dragon's Reach and talk to Farengar. He will be selling the books that will teach you the bound sword and bound battle axe spells. Then you can buy them and add them to your spell list to use them whenever you want. Now the bound bow will be a little trickier to get, but it is still very easy. Just head over to Fort Amal, then look for this door that will take you to the prison. Here you will find 2 enemies that you will need to take care of first, but it should be very easy, especially if you have the first 2 bound weapons. Then after it's safe, just look for this bucket in the corner, and in this bucket you will find the book that will teach you the bound bow spell. These bound weapons are incredibly strong, especially during the early game when they will outperform pretty much everything else you will find. And due to them being spells and not actual weapons, you won't have to carry them around, so you will have some extra carry weight to work with. And the bound bow doesn't use real arrows, so you will have 2 overpowered melee weapons that don't take up space in your inventory, and an overpowered bow that will have unlimited arrows. Next up, we have an amazing early game heavy armor set. To get it, you will need to head over to Largishbur, which will be right here on your map. When you get here, you will notice that the front gate will be locked and you won't be able to get inside, unless you go to the left and scale up the side of the mountain to jump over the wall. And in the center of this outpost you will find nearly a full set of Orcish armor, an Orcish shield, and an Orcish battle axe. And then nearby you will find the blacksmith station that will have more Orcish armor and weapons scattered around it. This will be very powerful gear and it will make you a lot tankier during the early game, so you don't want to miss it. And while you're in this area, you can also run over to Froki's shack, which will be right here on your map. When you get here, you will need to look for this chopping block, and on it you will find the Diadem of the Savant. This headpiece will be pretty valuable, and the perk on it will make all spells that you cast cost less magicka, which is always helpful. And right beside it you will find a pickaxe and an orichalcum or vein, and a free diamond. To get the next weapon on this list, head over to Grey Winter Watch, which will be right here on your map. When you get here, you will need to either defeat the 2 trolls that will be in this cave or try to sneak past them. But after this, you can grab Froki's bow, which will be on top of a barrel in the camp behind the trolls. This is a pretty decent early game bow, and the perk on it will make it deal an extra 10 stamina damage to your target. but if you want a much better bow than this, head over to Archingtham's. Then run through the area until you find this tree that has fallen over. On the end of that tree you will find the Zephyr bow, which is the highest damage per second bow in Skyrim due to the perk on it which will increase its rate of fire by 30%. So this is an amazing bow and it's very easy to get. To get the next weapon on the list, you will need to climb to the very top of the Throat of the World. And here, sticking out of a boulder, you will find the Notched Pickaxe. Now this may not be the strongest weapon, but it can be used to mine ore when you find some, and the perk on it will increase your smithing skill by 5, and it will also deal 5 shock damage to the enemies that you hit with it. So while it won't do a ton of damage, it is good to hold on to this pickaxe until you need it for ore, or when you need to work on your smithing skill. The next weapon can be found at the Liar's Retreat location right here on your map. Now this will be a pretty dangerous location, especially at level 1, but if you stock up on anything that you can use to heal yourself or increase your stealth, you can run all the way to the end of the location and grab the Longhammer. Then you can just run back and leave the location. This is an amazing two-handed weapon due to the perk on it which will make it lighter, allowing you to swing it faster. This will make the Longhammer do even more damage per second than a Daedric Warhammer, but it might take you a few tries to get it without dying. And finally, there is one weapon that I just want to mention quickly, and that is the Axe of Whiterun. You will get this after you defeat the first dragon in the main story campaign, and even though you get it very early on in the game through a main story quest, it is pretty good, and most players will just overlook it or sell it, or they won't even notice that it's in their inventory. Which is exactly what happened to me. I saw that it was in my inventory, I didn't know where I got it, and then I just sold it without even trying it. But it can be pretty helpful during the early game of Skyrim. But it's not like a hidden weapon, it's just something that you might not notice that you got. But those are some amazing weapons and armor that you don't want to miss early on in Skyrim. But I would love to know which of these you like the most in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.